Suppose TV. I'm Hewie Poplock. Suppose TV is a service that helps you compare streaming TV options. You can input your favorite TV channels, and it searches through billions of combinations of cable, satellite, and streaming TV services to find the best fit for you. Whether you're considering streaming providers or traditional pay TV operators, Suppose TV helps you make informed decisions by comparing pricing, channel selection, and other features. It's a handy tool for cord cutters looking to optimize their TV service choices. One of the first things we're going to have to do is to change the area in which we're located. This doesn't make a big difference except for the local channels. So even if you're in Canada where the choices of cities isn't available, you can still choose most of the streaming services by using this service. You just aren't going to be able to get YouTube TV. You need to gather everyone in your household and make a list of the must-haves and the wants of channels and network. Then you want to prioritize them. The first thing we want to do is change our area or the TV market we're in, area code, and it's now the Tampa Bay area. The next we need to do is choose and prioritize what we want. You need to gather everyone in the household together and decide the must-haves and the wants and prioritize them. Let's take a look at what we might do. It shows more. So these are all the local stations, and the one we absolutely want to have is the Sarasota station just south of us. So that's one that we want to have in the priority. Let's say we also want to have, and we're going to come under entertainment now. One we want is MeTV. Is one of the people in the household want that, and somebody also wants Reels, the National Geographic. So now we have 4 choices here. We want definitely mark this as a must-have, the MeTV as a must-have, and Reels as a must-have. The National Geographic is a want. Each one, as we look across here, is available in the services that are there. Now, the other things we want to check is what devices we have. Well, we have a Fire TV in the living room, and we have a Roku TV in the bedroom. So that makes some changes here. Then you want to get more or save more. We'll just leave it right in the center. But how many simultaneous streams do you want to have? Well, we could have 2. And the reason we have to choose that is not all of the services will allow you unlimited. So if you want to have the same service on both the living room and the bedroom TV, you might not be able to do that with some services. So you want to make sure that you put in here that you want 2. I want a DVR, a digital video recorder. So that's required. We've made our choices. Any provider will just leave that alone for now. Now we can see that there's some choices here and combination of choices because not everything is available on any one service. And you'll notice here we only have 2 pages that we can choose from, and it shows us how much it's going to cost us. So this particular one is YouTube TV plus Philo, has Reels. We're going to leave any provider alone, and we're going to have a Fire TV and a Roku. So let's now see what we can do. Reels is available on all of these. If we go over here, that's the streaming, so that's a choice that we could make. And that is a little bit more expensive than this combination. And let's come back here to the first page. And the cheapest we can go is $98.38, but I don't want DirecTV, so this would be the choice I probably would choose, would be YouTube and the Philo. Down on the bottom, it gives you some ideas of some of the offers that are available, how many channels are available, and what those channels are. So if we're going to choose this, we can look to see there's some free trials. It's available on the Roku, the Apple TV, and the Roku Express. If we choose it, it's $103.99 a month. That's how you use Suppose.TV. I'm Hewie Poplock.
Okay, it all depends on what download speeds are available where you live. My focus here and theme is going to be it all depends. So talking about download speeds, T-Mobile and Verizon offer home internet connectivity where I live, but it's not available to my physical address yet. CenturyLink is around. They provide DSL, but only up to download speeds of about 100 megabytes per second. Usenet, satellite internet is of course available, but they're very expensive. It's reported that less than 1% of the consumers in the county where I live have access to fiber optic service. So that really is out of the question for the time being. So while providers have optimized video streaming at relatively low speeds, it can be an issue if in the same household there are multiple people using the computers at the same time. Now we use the Optimum cable with 300 megabytes down and 20 megabytes up for our internet service, and we receive a discount for combining this with our cable TV. It depends on one's viewing preferences. In our household, we enjoy traditional TV programs that include news and current events that are local, national, and worldwide. I like the crime series like FBI, Law and Order, Chicago PD, Tracker. We like documentaries and other educational programs. And of course, as you would expect, we like a lot of the music-related shows. So living in Arizona mountains, where I'm more than 100 miles from Phoenix, that does not allow us to receive over-the-air local channels. Thus, those have to be offered by our provider. It depends, again, on one's viewing preferences. In this case, I continue to follow the local Arizona professional sports teams, Arizona Cardinals and the Phoenix Suns. As an example, one of my friends during the football season, he comes and he joins me for every Cardinals games because none of the streaming services he pays for offer NFL games or other sporting events. For us, a must-have is the ability to DVR all the shows so we can watch any program at our convenience and fast forward through the commercials and parts of the program that do not hold our interest. It depends on the cost. My basic monthly expense for TV and TiVo HD is $49. Now I do pay additional costs for the extra equipment for our other TVs, the taxes and fees. Now compare that to the monthly fees for streaming services such as Paramount Plus, Peacock, Disney Plus, Netflix, and Hulu. Do the math. It's reported that most households that stream on average pay to use multiple services. Here are the movie streaming services we do use. Living in a rural area almost mandates being a member of Amazon Prime. So that gives us the added benefit of Prime Video, which is in addition to our Netflix subscription. We subscribe with a family plan to YouTube Premium, which gives us ad-free YouTube and access to the YouTube Music Premium. I use that quite a bit. As an example, I use YouTube Music Playlist each month to play songs during the monthly meeting luncheon of the Record Collectors of Arizona Club. So it's a lot of uses for that. I've converted my collection of over 300 DVD and Blu-ray movies to MP4s on my Plex server. I can watch them anytime for free. And I'll often check out thrift stores to search for used DVDs I might want to add to this collection. And of course, we have the availability of the free Plex streaming service. It depends on your life schedule. Considering Carol's work responsibilities and all the organizations we both volunteer for, there are not that many hours left in the day to watch television just for pleasure. Today, the choice is not only what to watch on television, but which service to use. Most choices in life are not necessarily right or wrong, or even best or worst. They're just different. Which one you choose for video streaming? It all depends. The end, and thank you.
I think this is the best show on TV. These are our photos, our personal photos coming from Google Photos. I'm not doing anything to make this happen. These photos are coming from the cloud. Now I did set it up and I will show you how to do that. But first I want to explain the difference between what this is doing and just casting. I mean, sometimes you might want to have something on your phone that you want to see on the big screen TV, and that is casting. So for example, you might want a YouTube video. It's easy for me to get a YouTube video going on my phone, And then all I have to do, tap this Chrome button at the top and tell it that I want it to play on, this is our bedroom TV. And in a minute, what is on my phone will instead be playing on the TV.
Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And do you have questions about your iPhone or Android devices or the cloud? And how do you
Now that is casting. So that's from my phone to the TV. I'm going to stop that just by tapping the same little button, and it stops casting to the TV. I'm just back on my phone. Automatically, we're just back to my pictures. What do you need to make that happen? You need a Chromecast. This is a Google Chromecast. We call it a dongle. It's HDMI. So then you need a TV with an empty HDMI port. All you do is plug this into the HDMI. And then you do have power. You need to plug the power cable into the other end so that it stays powered. The Chromecast these days, today's model, includes Google TV. But for what we're talking about, all you need is the Chromecast. And it's $30 for the HD and $50, I think, for the 4K version. So now let's start at square one. You have a TV. It has an HDMI port in the back. You plug the Chromecast dongle into the HDMI port and you turn the TV on. I'd have already plugged one into the HDMI port in the back. When you first turn the TV on, your TV is probably going to want to be on TV. So how do you get it to be on the Chromecast? You just have to change the input settings to the proper HDMI port. So find the input settings button on your TV's remote and choose, and I know that I have it in the HDMI 3 port. Here are my pictures. Now the first time you do this, you will have to go through some setup. The Chromecast will step you through getting connected to your household Wi-Fi. Then you need a phone connected to the same Wi-Fi and the Google Home app. So the Google Home app looks like a little house, multicolored house. And under devices, you will have needed to set up the TV. In our case, we set it up as the bedroom TV. Now, the pictures that are showing on there, that's called the ambient mode, meaning nothing else is going on. You're not watching a show, you're not streaming anything. Ambient mode, and you can tell it what to play by 3 dots and ambient mode settings. Google Photos, My Photos, and you can choose an album. I love showing recent highlights. So recent highlights is something that'll just happen automatically from your recently taken pictures in Google Photos. Automatically. This is just so cool. We come in from a trip, we turn the TV on, we're seeing photos of our trip. The best TV show in town. Now, once it's all set up, you can select your albums from Google Photos. Let me show you where that is. Google Photos and your profile picture and Photos settings, apps and devices, photo frames. Google Photos calls this a photo frame. It's the bedroom TV, and it's showing recent highlights and national parks. I can deselect both of those to play something else. Fun with 2024 diving on BVI Aggressor. And in just a second, we will start seeing scuba diving vacation pictures. There we go. Now, if you do have the Google TV model of the Chromecast and Google TV, then when you first go to your proper HDMI port, instead of going straight to your photos, you're going to be going to the Google TV with all your streaming services. Now, with the remote, if you just press the back arrow, that will take you to your photos. Then, to get back to that main screen, it's the home button. Takes you back to all your streaming services. And just one other thing to know is that you can set settings here. This top ring takes you up and over, all the way over towards the right, there are settings. And the enter button is where the indentation where your thumb is. That's the enter button. And under system and ambient mode, here are the settings that you can change for your photos. Remember, ambient mode is like the screensaver, and I want Google Photos, and here is where I can set the amount of time. So I have mine currently set for 5 seconds, but you probably want it more like 30 seconds per photo. That's how long each photo stays on. And the back arrow and the home button to take you back to your Google TV. And then if you wait a little bit, it will automatically go to the screensaver in your photos, or you can just press that back arrow. So that is the Google TV. Once it's set up, you don't have to do anything unless you want to change the pictures that are shown. The best show on TV. I'm Chris Guld with Geeks on Tour.